Miles, we got to talk about the Seattle Seahawks with a physically dominating 19-9 victory at home against a division rival Arizona Cardinals. And Miles, you and I have spent some time talking about the Seahawks this season, really how impressive Geno Smith and that offense has been on the Seattle side. Well, Geno Smith had a pretty solid game. How about we give some credit to this dominating Seattle defense? Big plays all game long. Miles, how about this? They gave up a field goal the opening drive, no points after that. The one touchdown Arizona got was on that botch punt from the Seahawks side. So a dominating, stifling defensive performance, Miles. And I know you have some additional thoughts on that, but we want to hear from the Seattle Seahawks fans first. We want to hear from you guys in the comments section below. Give us your MVP of the game. There were so many guys that made big plays throughout this entire game, either on defense or on offense. A lot of young guys, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But we want to hear from you, Seahawks fans. Give us your MVP in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on the Seahawks victory? And, you know, the team got back to 500 today. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Nick. Dare we say, is this the best team in that division?
Could be.
Like, I mean,
be.
they're tied for first at this point in time.
The Rams look bad. The 49ers didn't look good. I mean, this is probably the best team in the division right now. I agree with you.
Yeah, hot streak, Seahawks. And who says they just have a fun offense? They have a stifling defense as well, and it may be newly found, but not too little too late. Against an Arizona Cardinals team that, you know, isn't to be slept on. Obviously, they have some great running backs in the stable, great receivers. Kyler Murray is very difficult to contain. As you can see, the big thing, though, was Murray, 10 rushes for 100 yards, but they stopped the points. They stopped the bleeding. It's like that mentality, bend, don't break. And in that aspect, the Seahawks did a phenomenal job. They did not let up the big points. The defense just looked great. And I think you'd think, oh, there's got to be some veteran leadership on this defense really pulling it together, or there's some staple big time playmaker there. Not really, Nick. It is these young rookies or just younger players in general who have put on a freaking show, man. You look at guys like Tariq Woolen, that's the one that we kind of want to focus on today. This is his 4th interception in 4 games. Also had the fumble recovery. This guy's ridiculous. He's one of the top graded corners on Seattle. He's one of the top graded defenders on Seattle's defense. This guy has literally been playing out of his mind, being that he's a 5th round draft pick. You don't expect a 5th round corner to come in and play this lights out. But just all around, the whole defense as a whole, 6 different guys got sacks today. It was a great defensive performance overall.
Yeah, and you brought up the youth movement, right? You have obviously Woolen, who's been stupendous. Jordan Brooks, he's only 24. He's a superstar in the making of the linebacker position. But how about Kobe Bryant, right? The young guy, you and I talked about him a little bit after the draft as a guy we really liked. 8 tackles today, that forced fumble that Woolen recovered on Kyler Murray. That was kind of a momentum shifting play there in this win for the Seattle Seahawks. So this youth movement, right? We saw a little bit more Boyo Mafe today. I'm really excited to see as he develops. This youth movement on the Seattle defense is just unbelievable. But it's not just the defense, right? I mean, you got Kenneth Walker had another big day. This guy looks like a star in the making. The 2 young offensive linemen in Cross and Lucas seem to come along nicely as the season continues to progress. This whole team is young, dynamic, energetic, and explosive. And normally when that happens, you get some volatility, right? You get games like against the Saints. You give up a few long runs to Taysom Hill. Things just don't quite work right. But they have the ability to have lockdown performances like this. And the fact that they're getting some confidence now is going to bode extremely well for them the rest of the year.
Yeah, Nick, and since we touched on offense briefly, one thing I want to put up is that a guy that got out of the Russell Wilson trade to the Broncos, Noah Fant, finally came in, and he's been more productive lately. At the beginning of the season, he kind of was slow to start, but now, I mean, this trade for the Russell Wilson for the Seahawks looks like a genius, like masterclass. You know, had a guy like Geno Smith come in. He's been the highest graded quarterback in the NFL up to this point. Noah Fant, productive tight end. A lot of draft picks, stuff like that to really re-bolster this defense. A lot of young players all around the ball. And it's like, how do you rebuild when you're already have the pieces to be good now? So I like Seattle. I want to see what they do. This season is going to be interesting, but I'm really interested to see like where they go in the draft, where they think that they need to build on in the future. Obviously, they might need to add a couple more offensive linemen, something along those lines, to be where they really, really want to be. But this team's really exciting to watch right now. Really fun. And, I'm excited to see them potentially sneak into the playoffs and make a little run here.
Oh, yeah, they certainly could, right? Obviously, the 49ers are right there in the mix. The Rams are there as well, but the Rams have looked bad. The 49ers are hurt, and they've looked really bad at times as well. The 49ers got manhandled by Atlanta today. So I look at the Seattle Seahawks team as they're in actually a really strong position. They're 500, tied for first in the division. Quarterback playing right. We always talk about what do you need? You need the right coach. They obviously have that in Carroll. You need the right quarterback. Geno Smith's playing like the right quarterback. So they have the two pieces they really need in this defense, and these young guys are starting to play together, and they're starting to make plays. And that's very exciting for the Seattle Seahawks going forward.